Hello, friends. Welcome back. Super last minute picks. UFC 320 set. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. UFC 327. It should be absolutely a fire. Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Ulberg as the main event. Of course, we will have UFC or Smoky Hours UFC Fight Companion. 5:30. As soon as the fight starts, we'll be watching every single fight, gambling, smoking, chatting, talking hot cash, straight cash the entire time. But without further ado, let's just hop straight into that. Chuck Buff, Charles Radke versus Francisco Prado. Actually, quite a good bout. I think Francisco Prado is a lot better than maybe some people think, and better than his record would entail with these last three losses. The Daniel Alhuber shit was a little painful. The Veretenikov thing was also quite painful as well. Man's really a street fighter, this man Francisco Prado, kind of the brawler style. The thing is, I'd like to think Chuck Buff is a better fighter. Straight up a better fighter, maybe even a bit stronger, too. Has a little bit of a reach advantage. Big discrepancy here in age, which might translate to speed. But let's see. Let's see. Damn, bro got smoked by Mike Malott. I forgot about that. But he smoked Matthew Semmelsberger before that. I actually thought Chuck Buff might smoke Mike Malott. But anyways, I think I'm going to have to go with this man, Chuck Buff. And it could be a KO TKO. I don't know if Francisco Prado has ever been finished like that. Francisco Prado has a chin like a motherfucker. But I've also seen him take serious damage. Serious damage. For that reason, actually, I'm going to go KO TKO round 2. Moving on. Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. Kind of a battle of the unks here, low-key. Unk battle. Even though men's are 34, it's more of a mileage thing. Shit. Vicente Luque is still way bigger than Kelvin Gastelum, but I like to think that Kelvin Gastelum is in better physical condition. Brain health, everything, just better condition. We'll say decision. Markel Medeiros versus Chris Padilla. I feel like Markel Medeiros actually had some good-ass fights, yeah. Marchonsky, we don't remember. Split decision with Austin Hubbard is kind of spooky. Valid decision win over Landon Quinones is fire, though. Chris Padilla has literally struggled against all these motherfuckers. One fight that he was counted out of completely. And now I'm starting to believe a little bit. I think we are going to go with Chris Padilla here. Majority of Tapology is going with Chris Padilla here. I remember Markel being kind of clean on the feet, though. So if Markel can just get like a decision victory here, I will be a little bit upset, but I'm actually going to say Chris Padilla by decision. Fuck. Really hard fight here for Lupi Godinez. Tatiana Suarez versus Lupita Godinez, a.k.a. Lupi Godinez. This is going to be spooky. Usually I'd go with Lupi here, but Tatiana Suarez looks phenomenal. Looks like I don't want to just say a better version of Lupi, but kind of. That is what I'm kind of saying here. You know, like, I think Tatiana's kind of her. Lost to Weili Zhang, we can take that. The Mackenzie Dern shit was, but fuck it. Going Tatiana Suarez by decision. Calmly. Should be a good scrap. Mateusz Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovic, excuse me. Man is not Brazilian, but I believe he's an Argentinian. Might be wrong about that, though. I digress. Mateusz lives up to his name, gamer. Man is a very game fighter, very well-rounded fighter as well. Tough as a motherfucker. But I've seen Mateusz get hands put on him. Esteban Ribovic is actually a very, very lethal fighter, and man has some devastating head kicks. Fast as fuck. Has some real power. I'm going to go with Esteban. He might get a KO here. He deadass might get a finish here, but I'm going to go with decision. This is like heartbreak central, because my brain tells me to go with Randy. Go with Randy. Kevin, we don't know what Kevin is thinking. Kevin might not give a fuck. Kevin might have like put in the most serious camp of his life for this fight. I don't know. My heart wants wants to go with Kevin though. Like, and the thing is, it's multiple things here. Y'all know if y'all watch the channel. Randy Brown is a top tier fighter. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he is good. He's good. He's good. He's a dangerous man. Dangerous man. Kind of a more unique build as well. You know, dude's taller, longer, and he actually does know how to use it as well. Randy knows how to use his physical gifts. Kevin's gifts, actually, I would say, beyond physique, are talent, straight up. Kevin Holland, on his run, unbelievably talented and unique style of fighting. But we've seen the fall off of that somewhat. You know, not to say that Kevin Holland fell off completely. It's just we've seen ups and downs. Like, we'll just take a look. 2-3 in his last 5. Basically all in 1 year. A little over a year, but basically all in a year. Wins over Gunnar Nelson and Vicente Luque, that's pretty good. Losses to D-Rod, he should not have lost the D-Rod fight. That shit really was heartbreaking. Mike Malott, whatever the fuck. RDR, we can also kind of live with that. But oh shit, bro. There's a chance that Kevin Holland, like, at the first real heavy shot he takes, he kind of gets finished. Like, man just shells up and then it's over. And he's not hurt. You know, Kevin's not really seriously hurt. He just gets stopped. Fuck it. We'll ride with Kevin one last time. This is like a coin flip to me. Patricia Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. The Bellator special. We're going to go with Aaron Pico here by decision. Maybe even KO, TKO. But I just like the weirdest thing about Aaron Pico is, and people who have been, I don't want to say following MMA for a while will know this, but Aaron Pico was talked about and highly praised as a young buck, as a real young man. You know, he's still young, 29. Man's only like a year and a half older than me. But he has not seen the level of success that people expected from him in MMA. Granted, of course, like, that's the thing with prospects in MMA. It's hard to be a successful prospect. You can be a prospect. It's hard to keep that prospect title into actual success and then to become a contender, be known after that. That is actually quite hard. Because the sad truth of the matter is, unfortunately, one fight can instantly take you out of that. Like, straight up, you know, one dude finishes you bad. Don't let it be a bum either. Don't let it be a dude that they just called up and that dude breaks down the door himself. Like, it's going to be real bad for you in that sense. Aaron Pico, unfortunately, at some of his highest profile fights have ended in decisive losses for him. But that doesn't take away, this is the weird part about fighting, you know, it doesn't take away from man's skill. Aaron Pico is a very, 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 very fucking skilled fighter. I did see pictures of him, like, post-weigh-in and shit. He took a couple pictures of his physique, and man looked incredible, like, chiseled out of fucking, like, granite, but he also looked so drained that there is a chance that Aaron Pico, again, one shot gets clipped, hurt bad, and put out. Like, just because man's dehydrated like a motherfucker. Like, he's coming off of a TKO loss. Like, you know, like, that's the thing. And that was a rough one, too. So, Cub Swanson versus Nate the Train Landwehr. This is an interesting one to me because I was thinking straight up before this fight even... Before I picked this fight, I was going to go with this man, Nate. But honestly, I lost to Danny Ige. We can live with that. Jamal Emmers, that's valid. Doohoo Choi. We can also live with that. And Morgan Charrier, we can live with that. We can live with both of those losses. Cubby. Shit, a little crazy, man. Fought Billy Q. Lost the decision to Andre Feely, which is valid, and Jonathan Martinez is kind of spooky himself, so that's okay. And I think he has more than one leg kick TKO in the UFC. So, I think I'm actually going to stick with my initial pick here of Nate by decision. Terrifying fight. Someone's getting knocked the fuck out, probably. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. I'm going to go with Johnny Walker by KO TKO round 2. But this is it's so scary. There's really, I think this is a fight that there's no level of explanation beyond the fact that I think that Johnny Walker will be able to not get finished and then finish Dominic Reyes. As both of these guys are as equally dangerous as they are vulnerable. We'll say that. We've seen both men, Dominic Reyes and Johnny Walker, knocked unconscious, knocked senseless multiple times, in fact. Sometimes back-to-back, sometimes tripled, like, run that 3 times. But I gotta go with Johnny, man. I've been fucking with Johnny. Dominic, great fighter. Pretty classy fighter, too, actually. I just think Johnny has lived and at times even thrived in these kind of environments where, man is battling, not necessarily for his career, but fighting monsters, fighting killers back to back, putting together some wins, maybe gets set back with a finish loss. Shit like that. Dominic Reyes, no stranger to that either. No stranger to that either. In fact, many of you know Dominic Reyes as the man who arguably, there's an argument for it, beat John Jones. But I digress. We're not going to talk too much about that. I'm going to go with Johnny Walker, KO TKO, round 2. I do think that Dominic will just get caught first by Johnny. I think Dominic is going to start strong, try to really knock Johnny out in the first round. I don't know if it's going to, or I hope it's not going to happen. Johnny catches him in the second round. We move on. Curtis Blades versus Josh Hockett. This one, I might look like a fucking idiot. A huge idiot. I feel like Curtis Blades, I'm going to say decision. It could be a ground and pound TKO in round 2 or 1, but I have to believe Curtis Blades, the more tenured UFC fighter, has legitimate experience holding down big motherfuckers and pounding them out, can do it to Josh Hockett. Josh Hockett looks very promising. Extremely fucking promising. Extremely fucking promising. The win against Denzel Freeman, very good. Max Jimenez, that was alright. Man's got some mic skills, although I've noticed actually recently, man is starting to tune people off, like not even in a heel sense. Like, people aren't, like, even going to tune in to watch Josh lose. It's just that, like, actually they're like, yo, fuck this guy. But, like, fuck even watching him. So we'll have to see. But I don't mind Josh Hockett, and I'm interested to see how that fight plays out. This one I'm just going off of straight vibes. Mirzakhanov. Big round 1 KO TKO over Paulo Costa. Like, within a minute and a half. This is really scary to me. Carlos Ulberg, we've seen, is sharp. That motherfucker is sharp. He is a sniper. He actually hurts people bad. Yuri, though, is a fucking warrior, man. Like, and he's been doing this shit. I'm gonna go with Yuri. I'm gonna go with Yuri by KO TKO, and I think it's gonna be similar to the Khalil Roundtree KO TKO. Yuri might be getting hands put on him, but I think there's going to be a sequence where he digs deep, he takes over, and he finds the finish through that. We could even see. I like round 2, actually. Y'all know I like round 2. And yeah, there we go. That's it. I hope to see you for UFC 327 Smoky Hours. We will be doing it, obviously. Damn, I just realized I don't have the background up. That little curtain that I usually have. But either way, hope to see you then. Thank you for watching. And as always, much love. Big kiss.